Try it again. Told you not to try it again.
Want me to be, 'cause I'm too messy, and then I'm too fucking clean.
What it do, and welcome back to Here for the Mess. I'm your host, Jared, and I hope you're ready to clock this tea, because it's about to get messy. Y'all, I apologize in advance if my voice is dead, drawn out, and gone with the wind fabulous, but I went to my first concert of the year last night. Oh my gosh, y'all. First of all, you already know I'm a concert head, y'all. So the fact that it's already taken 6 damn months into the year for me to go to a show, that is not okay, girl. But nevertheless, we popped that cherry, girl, and I'm so happy. Better late than never, like Riley Burris. I got to see my homie. We actually got to see 3 acts, but the headliner was my boy SEKOU. I've been talking about SEKOU for like literally the last 6 months. I've been so enamored by their stage presence and aura and voice, and the fact that they're only 21 years old and they're still killing it like this. And oh my gosh, and I was pretty much front row. It just felt like a little kid again being at a show. I love concerts. I love concerts. I love concerts. But overall, what an experience. And I have to tell y'all, I have been worried about like the next generation, especially like with this Suno app and AI artists kind of taking over the industry. I'm like, where are we headed? But I think we're gonna be all right after seeing last night's performance. This next generation, Gen Z, Generation Alpha, they're gonna come through with that good. Like they still got their own star power. They're very clear with where they want to go musically and sonically, and I think that's so special because a lot of artists, I guess, from my generation who I looked up to, they probably had people in their ear like Clive and stuff like that, telling them, you got to do this, you got to be this way. So it was so refreshing to see folks younger than me, but so clear in like their sound and what they wanted to write about. And oh my gosh, y'all can tell I'm so inspired. And also, I must say, if y'all gonna go to a concert, you got to go to a concert in New York City. New York has the best crowds. Ain't nobody out there trying to have like a looks contest or pushing you around. It's just none of that ego. Everybody just love and appreciate, number one, the artists that y'all are there to say. Not even that, because a lot of the people never even heard of SEKOU's music and they were still there supporting. And so I love that. People will take the chance on a random Sunday to go listen to a new artist. That's why I love New York. And I ain't never leaving. People just get it right here. So yeah, I'm hoping that's the first of many concerts for this year. But hell yeah. Anywho, how y'all doing? Drop a devil emoji in the comments if you ready to get into it. Well, before we get into it, y'all, housekeeping. You already know y'all love this segment. Go ahead and subscribe. I should have just changed it to that. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, girl. I actually just dropped a new Lizzo episode for Pop Reacts. So go and get into it. If you want to get into my whole album listening reviews, go ahead and check that out. I really tried my best to give like a critique. So I gave my wholehearted, honest opinion about things, which is something hard for me because I'm always trying to not be harsh on certain people. So I was very proud of myself for living in my true honesty. So if you want to go check that out and kind of get a vibe of what this new album is bringing, go ahead and watch that video, y'all. And in general, the channel is just giving y'all what y'all need. Y'all getting travel vlogs, y'all getting NYC vlogs, y'all getting music opinions, y'all getting blog hot mess episodes, y'all getting long essay pop culture critiques for the weekly wind down. I'm giving y'all what y'all need. So go ahead and subscribe and go ahead and tell a friend. Show that love. And now let's get into this tea. In true Jared fashion, we're kicking things off with a girl group. Concert season is in full effect. Our ladies of Danity Kane have hit the stage, and although I always love the dose of nostalgia, my first honest instincts were like, where are the rest of the members? Now, I definitely want to kick things off with the positives. The ladies at yesterday's or this last weekend's concert looked a lot more cohesive than they were on that winter tour that they did. I love the fact that they were wearing their Danity Kane shirts. It said 20 years on the back, or I think 20, to celebrate their 20th anniversary of the debut album release. That charted #1, by the way, and beat out Paris Hilton. However, given that this whole 20th year anniversary vibe is to celebrate y'all's legacy, how are you only going to do that with 2 members? Like, wouldn't you want all 5 members to be present, even if it was just for a conversation, to present healing, growth, the fact that y'all are trying to be on the same page? Y'all about to go down in history as being the most faulty girl group behind En Vogue, because that's another group that can't ever get it together with a Dawn. No tea, no shade. But yes, onto my serious clocking, I feel like Danity Kane is the definition of wasted potential. Why would you want a legacy that's built into what could have been? You know, that's what everyone is talking about right now. Like, oh dang, they could have been this, or they could have been great. Meanwhile, they got all the members alive. Everybody got potential to be on stage. We've seen pretty much everybody perform within the last 2 to 3 years. But in my humblest regard, again, as one of their biggest fans, I feel like they've just been drawing this out for a little too long. It's been like too many years to be having this same stuff. Let go of that ego, ladies, please. And it's not even that. Y'all can fight. Y'all can have attitudes. I've seen other groups, New Edition, they be cussing each other out. Hell, they been fighting on stage. But they make sure to get to the bad. They make sure to show up for the gig. gig. They make sure to hit they 1-2 on stage. Boom, cat for your life. Go ahead. That's what we need. Hire Lorianne back. Like, we gotta learn how to just set that shit aside. Especially, can we even try one night? That's what my girls Mystique doing. They said one night only. Like Beyonce, girl. Okay, and I get that. Let's test things out. But this ain't it, DK. Now, true tea, is it because y'all just trying to split the bag? Because I get it, girl. Why split the whole pot of gold 5 ways when you could just get half? I can understand that mentality, but again, then lead with that. I'm not saying like go outside, like who finna be like, I'm selfish, give me my money. Like no one's gonna like go purchase a ticket if that's the case. But I don't like the fact that they're leading with this whole girl power 20-year anniversary vibe and you only got 2 members. Someone said they only got the Danity and not the Kane. And I couldn't agree more. The dedicated crew, all the DK fans, we deserve at least a Zoom call, y'all. With the 5 of them on there for at least 10 minutes. Just keying. After all the drama we've been going through since '08, that's at least what we could get. At this rate, y'all. Next story. Hold up. Not to mention, they up there performing Damage. No Dawn ad-libs. It sounded so empty. I guess that was a way to pay respect. I don't know. It's just the arrangement's not giving. D Woods and Andrea's voices do not blend like a group together. They sound like 2 soloists up there doing karaoke, which is sad because it's to their own music. But shoot, so was a Pussycat Dolls last week. Let me stop. Let's go move on. Now, y'all, is it me or within the last 3 weeks, I've seen 4 to 5 videos of these robots at these random conventions doing choreography and dancing. It's like maybe it's a new prototype that they've been launching out to the people with all the money because ain't people over here just walking around with no damn robot. But it's usually in like some type of tech convention or a techie area. And I'm like, what is going on? It's giving a vibe that whomever at top is trying to like soft launch robots into society, especially in a form of entertainment. And as an entertainer and one of the biggest consumers of entertainment, I'm just here to declare that I'm not here for this. The robot over here freestyling, not even no beat, no kind of rhythm, which I'm not feeling. Like, if you gonna do it, you got to be impeccable. If y'all gonna do all this programming for them to mimic human behavior and make that shit impeccable. And then when they over there doing in-sync choreography, it was like 2 robots doing a routine together. It was so identical that it didn't give any type of like sauce or like part of being a human or a human creative is like the facials that you give when you are dancing or the nuanced way you move your body stylistically that makes the move pop even more. That's why we always love watching like dance teams, because the objective is to be like so in sync, but still everybody have their unique flair that just makes you drawn in and captivated. And these robots ain't doing that, honey. But what I fear is like the new spectacle is going to be, they're going to train them in like armies of like 300, 500 robots, and they going to be the ones going on tour doing like the Cirque du Soleil type shows. That's going to be the new end of the 2020 Renaissance era of entertainment. That's what they're going to be faced with. Over laborious work for the robot show tour, which if they could just learn how to be like healthy human beings and pay artists livable wages and be obsessed with the arts loudly the way that everyone should be, then all of this wouldn't even be a thing. We wouldn't even need no dancing robots in the first place. So this is already just making me mad. This is the world we walking into. Robots are the ones selling out arena concerts, girl. What? Y'all are the ones that's gonna be going to them robot and hologram shows? No, ma'am. Shaking my head because I just know it's people to my right and to my left. These neighbors of mine. I know a good 40% of them would probably show up to something like that. Interesting how the world is. Listen, the reason why I did this story is because I wanted it documented that I kind of think stuff like this a little weird. So girl, in 2050, when we done integrated and y'all having like cyborg, half human babies, there you go. Here for the best. We clocked it, girl, in 2026. All right, y'all. So for our next story, we're going across the pond for this tea. For some people that really love tea, they be drinking this every damn day. My British people, you want to stop Snake from getting that stone or not? I had to get that out of me, y'all. British comedian Gina Yashir recently came under fire by kind of exposing this underlying tension between Africans and island blacks that live in the United Kingdom. She appeared on a podcast and was explaining her upbringing in the 60s and 70s and how pretty much the British school system hid a lot of their colonialism and their ways of shipping blacks from Africa to Jamaica, the States, and Barbados and so forth, to the point where a lot of people that come from these island areas don't know the history of their country or like their origins, and it causes just a lot of tension with Africans who moved directly from Africa to the UK. They're all fighting for like who's the most prideful, who's the most nationalistic, who's the most, I guess, black, or they want, I guess, separation between the two. This is me trying to just like make sense of it because I don't see it this way. I'm just sharing. But anywho, apparently, I guess Africans have been trying to explain recently the ideas of colonialism. And it's like, y'all are only just more of an extension of us from Africa. You were taken from these people that you worship, the British whites. But those are the exact same people that like displace y'all from Africa to put you into Jamaica and then make you so prideful for a place that was kind of almost invented based off of your own labor. That's what the African folks in the UK are trying to explain to the Jamaicans in the UK. But again, it's just creating tensions. These tensions, no shade, it's been brewing since a tale as old as time. And then this is what this lady who has to be probably in her 40s, her 50s, her 60s is trying to share with the audience, and people are getting upset with it. And I gotta kind of come and defend her because number one, we can't negate her story. She's sharing her experiences growing up in the 60s and 70s. Just because you didn't experience it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And I'm pretty sure there are some truths to the experiences and the stories that she was sharing. But nevertheless, it's so interesting because I'm so used to hearing this from the perspective of African Americans versus the same thing. Folks always asking, well, you're from America, where are you really from? And it's because a lot of Black folks in America don't know their origins because they were a part of the transatlantic slave trade, which is a literal logic for everybody. But yet Jamaicans, a lot of the island folks don't get that same poking. They're just told, oh yeah, you can be Jamaican, you can be from Trinidad, etc., and that's no problem. But if no one goes and tells them, okay, well, what country in Africa are you from? And they don't even think that far back because they are so proud and nationalistic of that. So again, I just feel like this is such a nuanced conversation, but it's interesting to see it change from African Americans kind of having that spotlight to it shifting to the island folks. They're nerding me. And it's also the fact that in 2026, people still can't get over concepts as such. There's such a need to feel like you belong to something in this world that people will just like let the things that don't make sense kind of fly over their heads in order to create a sum of the information that does make sense in their head and just rock with that. And that gives them peace. And so for that, I can't really like hate on nobody for digesting information like such. But at the same time, I'm like, we more alike than we different. So what we fighting for? This whole Diaspora Wars thing in the first place is just a ploy to distract all of us from realizing that we control the majority of the world. The same thing with Asian folks, everybody. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that everybody all got to work together because I feel like that'll be impossible. But at least if everybody own minority groups work together from within, it wouldn't be no more colonialism, girl. Take them hoes out. Everything dates back to Africa if we think about it, you know, and the results of everything that we're seeing right now is just the end evolution, the end results of what colonialism did, you know. Now, please do not get my words twisted. I'm not saying we should all strip ourselves from nationalism and we shouldn't be prideful of where we came from. No, absolutely. I think it's so cool, especially, girl, watching the World Cup. I love seeing everyone so joyous and representing they hood, okay? However, that doesn't negate history, you know. But maybe it's also the age demographic because it's the boomers. I feel like they're the generations. If you go on TikTok and stuff like this, you'll find kids in their teens that can get this like that. It's the older generations that cannot move past some of this information to be able to welcome, again, the sense of we're more the same than we are different. They want to keep things so separate and so rigid. And I'm just like we gotta move on, y'all, okay? In the wars, in the fighting, be mad at the right people, the British folks that didn't tell y'all how y'all even got to the freaking islands in the first place. And it sounds like education across the world, when left in charge of a certain type of folks, it's just gonna be a little limited. So we gotta take the chance to feel empowered to do our own research and be like Matilda bitch and be up in them libraries and learn it, okay? Since the age of 2, 3, 4. Now, y'all, it's Pride Month, so y'all know I had to do me a little queer story. You had to fit it in somehow. But nevertheless, West Coast rapper YG has dropped a new track called Tiffany. And the song pretty much goes over the circumstance of a guy meets an attractive girl, they're feeling each other out, they're about to hook up, etc. And the girl pretty much discloses that she's trans. The release of this song has me feeling perplexed, lots of emotions in like a lot of different spheres of my body. I'm like happy, I'm sad, I'm feeling fearful, I'm kind of like, why? There's just a lot going on. So let me kind of break it down what's going on in my mind. On one hand, I know that there are several rappers that are very trans attracted. There are rumors that some of the most popular ones date a lot of trans women, trans OnlyFans models, etc., which I'm sharing because there's nothing wrong with that because it's actually happening. So we need to stop looking at things that actually are in occurrence as something jaded because it's the truth, y'all. Men are trans attracted. Hello. But with that, I'm like, is this YG kind of like slowly admitting that this situation like happened to him? And is this a confessional and this is why he did this song? wrong? Because if that's the case, like I feel that there are other ways for you to present yourself in a role of allyship with trans folks outside of this. Because this is kind of giving me, I want to use transness as like a headline to get some coins, girl. And that's one thing I'm tired of, especially in 2026. Why did everybody want to bring up transness? That's the most searched word I feel like on Google. Everybody love trans, hate trans, love trans, protect the dolls, trans this, trans that, girl. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, nobody don't want to care when the girls are actually passing away, when they getting killed every single day over just existing or trying to love these stupid dudes that are as fragile as like the tiniest pea in the world. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to actual action, like that's what we need y'all for. Stop using transness for likes, clicks, and views. But then on the flip side of it, I'm like, this is crazy because we're now finally in a place where this topic can be discussed amongst a group of people that it would be so taboo. You could never imagine 20 years ago for this to be the headline or the main topic of a rap song from one of the most like hood rappers. YG's gonna reach a different type of audience more than someone like me or even a trans woman would. If you put a trans woman in a room with the same audience as YG, they would completely ignore this, or maybe they would lust after her, but they would not be listening to the words that she's talking about. These guys listening to YG on loop, maybe they'll digest the information, or maybe they'll just open up the tethers in their mind, the circuits, and be like, oh, I didn't think about it that way, or shoot, maybe that happened to me, or maybe that happened to my homeboy, and I was clowning him, and maybe I shouldn't have, because maybe they're just human too. Because I've been seeing that a lot, especially on like the new streamers, Clavicular, I think that's, oh, I sound old, girl. But they're starting to like talk about that kind of stuff too. I don't think he stands for it, but the fact that it's open enough for Gen Z and baby alphas to digest this topic and speak about it out loud, that's so revolutionary to me. So y'all can understand my mix of emotions. All in all, I just hope people can take the conversation to the next level. Let's discuss why misogyny has gotten us in this very place. The fact that straight men also fear each other so much that they can't even talk about certain topics like this even 20 years ago. So in a way, I feel that YG is a front runner in being a trailblazer and talking about taboo topics the same way that I would say Pac and Biggie and stuff used to do back in the day. It's just he's poking the bear a little bit, which I love. So I don't know, mixed emotions, but I can't wait to see it. And the reaction has been kind of interesting. Going to the comments, I'm like, I don't know, he's stirring the pot. So maybe this was the intent. Maybe it was positive intent at the end of the day. We'll just have to wait and see. But I guess shout out. I don't know, y'all. I just need like a clear, level-headed person to be up there to explain that we don't need to resort to violence when we feel certain types of emotions. We need to be able to process them as an adult. However, I just don't feel like YG has like the maturity to present that conversation. I don't know if he is the right messenger, but we shall see. I'm not going to take away him throwing the dart because that's very bold nowadays. I can't take that away from him. I guess we got to take progress where we can take it, y'all. Now for our honorable mention. My girl Normani has blazed the stage this whole last week. I'm just so proud. All the shit that people have been talking online, she pretty much shut them up because the set is phenomenal. 30-minute set, perfect from head to toe. It's so cool to see her with a group of 4 other ladies and them being so in sync. This is what, when we talk about wasted potential, it was cool to see if you put Normani with people of her caliber when it comes to performance, what she could exude on stage. So I absolutely love it. I love the whole space theme that goes along with the dopamine cover, like so well thought out. I get you, girl. I'm here. I can't wait for the tour. Yes. So proud of my girl. Also, I've been seeing online that there's been some controversy on Love Island because 2 of the contestants, they're bros, but they've been having a little like homoeroticism. I want y'all to realize that everybody gay, like especially the men's, they don't do that. They play with each other. They are curious creatures, and I need people to just get with the program. This has been going on since I've been a little kid, and I was always confused because then I would get bullied and been told, oh, you're actually gay, but they the ones doing the gay shit. But yeah, bisexuality, it exists. And if more people could just accept who they are, we would have such a more free and fun and vibey world. And I feel like we're getting to that territory, but I need people to wake up and realize that the people that you know, your brothers, your nephews, your cousins, your uncles, etc., a lot more of them are a lot more queer leaning than you think, or at least more curious than you think. And you got to let people just live their lives because they're going to do it regardless. That's another thing that I want y'all to realize. Y'all keep talking about like GL culture and this and that or whatever. One thing about a man, especially when they're feeling some type of hormonal feelings, decide to say, they gonna do what they gonna want to do, girl. So you can't control that, no matter your opinions, all that. They gonna do it in secret. They gonna figure out a way to do it. They'll feel shameful after, but they gonna do what they do. Might as well just let them live in a society where it's open and free and they can be themselves instead of having to do this stuff in hiding. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm too logical for this world. Send me to outer space. Give me Normani rocket. I'm ready to have some dopamine outside. And speaking of pride as well, legendary music mogul Clive Davis has passed away, y'all. No shade. I kind of been waiting for this moment. I'm not waiting for someone's death, but I kind of felt like he was someone that passed away like a long time ago. Or he should have definitely been kicked the bucket before Whitney and Michael, girl. So this was definitely a long time coming. The reason why I say pride, y'all, is he was a known bisexual back in the day in the industry. And again, I mean, people are allowed to do whatever they want to do, and it's their own personal business, but it would have been interesting if certain folks like Luther Vandross, for instance, was allowed to be themselves out loud when the ones that are in control of everything are out there having a fun too. So it's just an interesting world. But rest in peace. You know, you done curated a lot of bops. I wanna dance with somebody. What's your favorite Whitney song? I'm gonna have to say I'm Your Baby Tonight, girl. What a bop, girl. What? Let me go ahead and sign out this biatch. It's been a pleasure hanging out with y'all on this fine start of the week. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with a friend that you feel loves and adores pop culture and just wants a little dose, a little tea about what's been going on in the last week of the world. Yeah, outside of like the World Cup, which is what I love. I love walking down the streets, y'all, and everybody, and no matter what neighborhood you in. Bushwick, the Lower East Side, the West Village, everybody got the game on. Everybody got their Aperol spritz and everybody having a good time, regardless of gender, age. It's just a vibe. Moving to New York City was the best decision in the whole world. I'm so grateful. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.